Hi, everyone. Whew, okay. Take a deep breath. Whew, get settled. I have been running. This is for Tuesday morning. I'm doing this Monday afternoon, closer to actually evening, because I have got, today has been back to back to back, and very physically demanding kind of stuff too. But that's okay. I mean, but, and then tomorrow it's back to back to back again, and I know I will be preoccupied, and so I want to be able to focus and really tune in. So, and I always tune in to say, is this a good time to do this? And I'm hearing yes. So, hi, my name's Holly. How's everybody doing? Um, I am a psychic medium, born that way. Just it's all I've ever known. And I embrace spirit, and I treasure spirit around me all the time. I'm holding right now because I wanted to use the Adam Barrelay Crystal Connections cards, and while I was talking, I opened up and I'm like, I'm supposed to look at this, and it's Tiger's Eye. This is such a cool stone, and comes in some slight variations of colors, and has a chatoyancy, and I'm hearing a high-pitched buzz in this ear right now. So, well, the message is already starting. I didn't even get through my beginning spiel. If so inclined, please subscribe. Check, make sure you're still subscribed. People drop off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Not blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I need to hurry up and get through that because there's this buzzing, ringing sound. All right, so. Okay, this was also on this morning's video. Something is coming in fast. And I believe it could be Tuesday. Tuesday is the day Tuesday is the day for some of you. I mean, this is a general reading. It can't resonate with all of you. Be ready, be prepared. If it hasn't happened by Wednesday, then something that some of you have been anticipating getting news, but if it doesn't happen by Wednesday evening, then it's probably not going to happen. So just stop thinking about it. I have no idea what this is related to. You will know if this is for you. This isn't for everyone. It's almost like just sit back and wait. Hurry up and wait kind of thing. There's going to be I'm hearing someone's going to come to their senses. I don't know. Okay, sure. I don't necessarily always agree with that, just because everything happens in its own time and way. But, yeah. Someone's going to come to a realization, and it may start a ball rolling for them that you don't know anything about, but you're going to find out about it soon enough. For some of you, it's going to be almost not a reconciliation. It almost feels like closure and goodbye, but it feels like closure, and it feels like it's going to be tomorrow. But, when you see this today, so on Tuesday, by the latest, mid-afternoon Wednesday. That's pretty specific. All right. Okay. Well, for whomever that's for, there you go. For the rest of you, let's get into some messages and find out what's going on. And with that Tiger's Eye, because they're showing me it again in my head, just have a little bit of a boundary and bubble set up, because you want to ask your guides to step in, walk with you and ahead of you to provide you with clarity and understanding of what's going on. I'm hearing things are not always what they seem. Okay, so just approach with caution. It's a yellow light. It's not a red light. It's not a green light. It's a yellow light. Proceed with caution and slow down. All right. Also, someone asked about the story with my sun tattoo. This one. It's hard to... Here we go. Hello. There is a story with that. And I got this when I turned 50. Got both of these when I turned 50. It was a rite of passage kind of thing for me. And this one is the closest I could have I love the sun image and the warmth and the brilliance of the sun. There's a big long story behind the color of it, but I thought it was going to be more of the yellow tones, and it turned out more green, but green follows me everywhere I go. It's a very nurturing, healing color. But with the sun image and with that little dot of light, let me see if I can get in. The little dot of light right in the center. When I had my near-death experience, and also when I stand in the gateway to the other side as a medium, my near-death experience, that's sort of what it felt like to me. This pinpoint of light that just grew into immensity until it surrounded everything. And this is a reminder. Every time I look at it, every time I see it, it's always a reminder that the other side and the gateway and our spiritual and truest home is right next to us. We are always walking parallel with it. We are always right next to it. We are always connected to it. And that's what it means to me. When I had the near-death experience and I was losing consciousness, I was still alert, but I couldn't talk and I didn't feel pain, and I was so broken up in that accident. I mean, seriously broken up. And when I started to lift, it was like lifting out of my body, and truly there was zero pain. So hopefully that's validation for some of you, or helpful in that. It wasn't shock. It wasn't any, it was the first, I died twice. That was the first time I died. Okay. But if any of you have passed out before or gotten woozy and everything starts to turn black, but it's like there's little sparkles around and then it kind of goes all to black. This wasn't like that. It was just a solid sheet of blackness and darkness, and I couldn't see anything except for this one about an inch above my third eye right here, about right there. Well, on the camera, about right here. This pinpoint of light, and everything else was dark. Just that one pinpoint of light, and it drew my attention, and I completely focused on it, and it gave me a point to focus on and a point of reference. And it started out super teeny tiny, and it just grew and grew and grew, and I was just in it, and I was there. And that's when I started having a conversation with spirit beings from the other side, and they were nice enough to make me think it was my decision to come back. The second time, and I did, and as soon as I came back in my body, I felt everything, and I could barely breathe as it was, and then I could barely breathe because I felt the pain again because I wasn't leaving. And then an ambulance just happened to be rolling by, not going anywhere. The dust from the airbag hadn't even settled yet. And so there was a whole lot of providence. There was a lot of divine intervention going on there. They pulled me out and got me in the ambulance, had to cut everything off. There was a big gash in my neck where the seatbelt scissored in. By the time I got to the hospital, quite a while later, they had to pull my earring out of my neck, So when I got in the ambulance, that's when I died the second time. But that time it's verifiable because, the EMTs had, I was all wired up and they were taking my vitals and they couldn't, I had none. And so they were talking about, because this was a long time ago, and they were talking about, oh, what a shame, and she's so young, and blah, blah, and I was at the time. And they actually put a sheet over my head. And I could see, and they had me in a neck brace, and I could see everything around me, even in the neck brace. I saw things very far off on the side that I shouldn't have been able to see. And so, and then I realized that my arm just fell off the kind of gurney thing, and it was just swinging because I was in no control of my body because I wasn't in it. And they took it and put it on top of my body and pulled, under the sheet. And I just thought, well, I know I'm not going to cross over, so I got to let them know I'm here somehow. But I couldn't talk. I could barely get a noise out, and so I just kind of went, and that was as good as it got. They yanked that sheet off so fast, and they were looking back and forth, and I thought just like a couple of minutes at most had passed. They got me to the hospital, and the hospital was very close. It was minutes away. And the nurses at the ER said, "What?" They looked at the times. They said, "What took you so long? Why? What took this long?" Because apparently it'd been more like half an hour that I was there, dead, with a sheet over my head. And they said they thought they were whispering, "Hello, no," and they just said she was gone. So the nurse looked at me and said, "Well, she's not now. Wheel her in." And that was the beginning of the fun in the hospital. Worst hospital experience of my life. Anyway, they're known for their trauma center. Yeah, right. All right, so let's go ahead and look at, and this is the second time I've opened it to Labradorite too. So there is a magical knowing coming in for some of you. There is a magical awareness. But we're still getting onyx. So again, have your boundaries set and be ready. And tourmaline. Oh, I love tourmaline. Tourmaline is an American stone. It's known as an American stone because it's predominantly mined here, and it also comes in a ton of colors, and it's gorgeous. My favorite is pink tourmaline, and that particular tourmaline had a lot of pink in it. So pink tourmaline is, and you can get it a lot cheaper in the matrix in the rough form, but that is definitely a heart stone, definitely a loving energy stone, and when you need to be nurtured kind of stone. Okay, it goes by different names when it's different colors too. But all right, and we're going to do one animal oracle while we're at it from the Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. All right, well, let me shuffle these first. All right, so that was a long story, but I haven't really ever gone into, much information about it. It was a head-on collision. I was a passenger in a car and some girls in their dad's pickup truck. Just ran a red light, plowed right into us. Didn't stop. They got nervous, inexperienced drivers. All right, the one that there was like a puddle of cards, but one slid to the side, and I'm like, that's the one I'm supposed to take. Turtle Spirit. Slow down, steady wins the race. So that goes back to this. Pace yourself, slow down, have your shell around you. Don't shut down, but be aware of what's going on around you, okay? And Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. And that also reminds me of the Hanged Man card. So take a different perspective on things. Sit back, watch. You don't have to make any decisions right away about anything. And if anyone does try to pressure you into making fast decisions, that should be your first red flag. Okay? It's your life. Remember that. Your life. All right. Now, we're going to go straight into the tarot now. The Light Seer's Pocket. This is such a go-to for me. I just love this deck. A lot of people do. I was hesitant for a little while, and then I got it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what took me so long? So let's get into this and see what we can learn. Spirit guides and guardians, beloved elementals, Mother, Father, God, come into this space, create a sacred space. Protectorate, surround and guide us in all things and in all ways. Help us to know what to do. Help us to know what to know. Guide our words, actions, and deeds in all directions of time. Guardians and guides, give me the wisdom, give me the knowledge, and give me the words to know. What is the dominant message for the collective when people watch this? Let's just put it that way. When people watch this, what is the dominant message for the collective? What is the dominant message for the collective? You're just working way hard to get out. We're going to put you off to the side there. What is the dominant message for the... Well, you just came flying on. Okay. What is the dominant message for the collective? All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. So this first one didn't fly out, but it kept sticking out and needling its way, or kind of kept trying to push its way further and further out. King of Swords. And I believe that has to do with that first just psychic message about someone is trying to make a decision or coming to terms with or trying to decide how to handle a situation and how next to proceed. That sounds like a King of Swords. All right, now the ones that definitely came flying out, that is a Magician, isn't it? Yeah. Magician, Knight of Pentacles, and then the King of Wands. Okay. Now these over here were, these cards, they just kind of landed with a thud, and it's sort of like keep them separate. So I'm going to keep these separate and go into those in a minute, because I kind of feel like, all right, so here's the breakdown here on this. These first 4 cards that you've already seen, that's going to be for the person on the other side stepping in. And again, I feel like this has to do with emotion. So this is either a long-lost family, long-lost friend. It could be a romantic partnership. It could be someone that you're already in a relationship with, but they're just trying to sort out where they are in their head with it and how to proceed next. Whatever it is, this is the beauty of a general reading and reading energy as well as the cards. You can take the energetic currents and apply them to different situations, but the current is still going to be the same. So with these first 4 cards, the King of Swords, the Magician, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands, this is an energy of someone who is in their head. They are coming to grips with, this is it's time. This is what I want. I know what I want now. But in trying to manifest it, but being a little leery and concerned about how to proceed next and how to come into it. But then they step into their full king full of fire. Okay? This is a fiery king, and that lion in the back with a whole lot of strength. So though that's the current, the wave of energy, that energetic current that's happening. Apply that to whatever situation, and you can do that with any general reading, because general readings are general readings for a reason. Okay, they're supposed to apply to a bunch of scenarios. This is someone, but this is a person who has decided enough is enough. I'm going toward what I truly want. I need to take my time. I need to be careful about how I approach this and what to say, but they're coming in with a lot of strength and a lot of certainty. Now, these other 3 cards, here's the interesting part. We've got the Hermit, the 4 of Swords, but then we've got the ending of the Sun. This is the other person. This could be you in the collective. Maybe in the collective, you're the first person with the, maybe you started out as the King of Wands, you end as the King, or you start as the King of Swords, you end up the King of Wands, ready and willing to make that jump into action instead of ruminating about it in your head. This could be you, or this could be you, or none of this may apply to you. So if you're on that first part with that King of Swords, Magician, Knight of Pentacles, and King of Wands energy, just trust your inner knowing and your gut, okay? If you're on the other side of this with the 3 cards, the Hermit, the 4 of Swords, and the Sun, that means you are on the receiving end, and this is what's coming towards you, okay? So you're on the receiving end. You're the other party in the situation that's being approached by this ultimately King of Wands, okay? So the Hermit is someone who's backed away, who is not so much doing the, ruminating in the head, the overthinking kind of thing, but actually becoming centered, becoming grounded, becoming wiser, and knowing who they are. And in the process, they had to let go of some things in order to accept additional new things that are wonderful. But there was a little bit of cocooning. It was time to heal. It was time to mend. And some of this was a broken heart. And this could be by family, friends, or romance, doesn't matter. Or just the uncertainty of what is going on around you. You thought you knew things. You thought you had this bright light. And then it was sort of like, I still do, But you got to go within sometimes. Sometimes you just have to back down, curl into a ball, cocoon, and heal. I think the modern equivalent of this is ice cream on a dish towel, because come on, don't fool yourself. You're not. If I get ice cream, it's not going in a bowl, and I'm not great with dairy. So if I get it, I get the small size. I get a spoon. I get a dish towel. I sit on the couch and I eat the whole thing, because that's how I do things. Okay, so and then kind of pay for it later, but that's all right. So that's the modern equivalent. Under a blanket on the couch, watching a movie, and eating your ice cream out of the container until it's gone. Okay? It's okay whatever you do or however you do it, but that's sort of, I'm just trying to give you an example of the modern equivalent. Okay? You're not literally, hopefully, in a fetal position in a nest. Okay? That would have to be a really big nest. The Sun card. I have always heard this as the best card in the deck. And in this deck, I love this card. It is beautiful. It is bright. It is sunny. She is opening her arms. He, she, doesn't matter. Genders don't matter in any of this. It's about the energy of the card. Arms up, just ready to embrace all the goodness and all the glow and all the warmth and all the light. That also, to me, feels like the light of the other side. But she's in no hurry to go into it and cross over, but she knows it's there. And she is so blessed by it. So after you release and heal, you understand that what you thought was your light, this is actually your light. You move from this, but you have to go through loss and healing first to get to this. Wow. This is beautiful. And you know what? This person coming in, that's great and wonderful. Use your discernment. You decide. You make decisions in a calm, thoughtful, and rational way. Listen to your heart, but listen to your head. Whatever situation this is, with family, romance, or friends, if it's someone that you're estranged from, if it didn't work out the first time, ask yourself, will it this time? And protect yourself. But if it's someone you're already in a relationship with, or maybe family members that you're having a disagreement with, or friends that you feel like they're drifting and the friendship's changing or whatever, but there is not an estrangement, then maybe it's just that this person is finally stepping into their strength and saying, I know what I want, and I'm not going to lose my family, or I'm not going to lose my friends, or I'm not going to lose my partner. And kind of stepping up and stepping out of their head. So whatever that person does, great. It doesn't matter in the end, because they've become a better person. You've become a stronger person. So this is amazing, and this is wonderful. I love this. I think it's perfect. So I'm not gonna look at an outcome, because I think it's gonna be different for everyone, and depending on what the circumstance is. Because it could be anything from someone who you are currently dealing with, that maybe you get through a disagreement, or maybe you start to finally, it becomes more real. Or it could be someone coming back in who's had to do a whole lot of growing up and changing. So, that's pretty incredible. All right. Anything else? All right. Let's do the Unfolding Path Tarot, and I want to do a quick pull just in general. I'm going to ask for a topic on this one, because they've been about personal relationships a lot lately. So let's move into the tarot from the unfolding path, spirit guides and guardians, Mother and Father God. And let's ask, what is the message or direction about personal ambitions and goals in terms of career or lifestyle? What is the message for the dominant part of, what is the, well, I gotta be more careful about how I phrase this. Okay. Let's focus on personal goals and professional desires. What is the message for the dominant? What is the dominant vibe for the collective related to not relationships, to business and career and personal goals with life ambitions? There we go. There we go. What is the message about life ambitions for the collective? Okay, let's see what we got. We have 3 cards that just jumped straight out. This is pretty interesting. Okay, we start out with the Queen of Swords. This is someone who's all business. This is someone a little unapproachable, on a throne, totally in control, but very sharp. Stings, has the ability to sting. Because I swear to you, I know those are not bees, or maybe they are. Where are my glasses? No, those are not. I don't know what they are. They actually look more like butterflies, but for some reason I was seeing a bee and hearing the Queen of Swords can sting. However, that takes a lot of stamina. And then you have the 5 of Swords. Sometimes the fight gets old. And that burden of having to carry away and carry around all the weapons, I don't feel like this is somebody who's running away with the spoils of war. This is someone who's just trying to keep others from hurting her by taking the weapons, but is totally exhausted. And look at this juxtaposition. Sometimes, and then we have the 6 of Cups. Sometimes you have to look at the most important things in your life. And look at this. It almost looks, doesn't this feel like it's almost the same person all grown up? It's almost like we're seeing the timeline in a different way. But this is revisiting the past, or being nurtured, home, where your heart is, love, the love of family, and something about the female line, something about the line leading back. Now, again, it could be the energy of the card and reverse that however you want. What I'm hearing is go back to what you know. Go back to what you wanted when you were young. Go back to the past and think about who you were before you had to fight, before you had to be so hard. Because it's not who you really are. Who you really are is a nurturer. But this is what you've been forced to become, and it's wearing you out. Sounds like someone I know. All right, I need clarification. So going back to the past, going back to what you know, explain that, please. Explain that, please. Explain that, Spirit. The Knight of Swords. This appears to me as a very mystical knight. This being the Knight of Swords, and first we have the Queen, then we have the Knight, but it's not going backwards. It's simply going back to what you know and what brought you this sense of exhilaration, the sense of wonderment and excitement, and what you couldn't let go of in terms of you had to learn, you had to know, knowledge. This is about knowledge and wisdom. Go back to what you know and what lit you on fire to learn more. You could not get enough. Is there another message, please? Is there another message, please? Don't worry about the when, where, or how, or any of that. That's what I'm hearing. Don't worry about the... Okay, this card just flew way up. The Lovers. And this is not about romantic love. In this reading, this is about making a choice and following your passion, following your heart's desire. So the three very important cards here for the how or the what. Go back to what you know. It has to do with nurturing and caring. The wonderment of learning something new. And there's a mystical element of that. And making the decision to follow your heart and your passion. And that's when the fruitfulness and abundance will happen. I'm also getting springtime because of the flowers on the top are jumping out big time. And so whatever is happening, if you start working on, it's almost like something, once you are, it's not like it's just going to happen, but it's going to take thought and effort, but it will start the shift to the new, going to the past and the learning will, it feels like come full circle in the spring, because that's what you're going to do in the meantime is setting the stage for that, if that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. So, and that might not be for everybody who resonates with that reading, but it will be for some of you. The first step is simply to create the thought and the images related to what it is that brings you the biggest joy. All right, everybody, that's it. Have a wonderful day. I am sending you so much love and so much gratitude, and I thank you so much for being here. And the cats have been remarkably quiet. Go figure. I love all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to make our lives wonderful just because we can. You are the Sun card. Okay, remember that. All right, everybody.